Welcome to New Friends Cinema,
where we get to know each other by sharing our favorite movies.
From childhood throwbacks to recent comforts, we walk through the stories together.
Keep in mind this podcast contains mad spoilers, and join us at the
New Friends Cinema.
Welcome back to New Friends Cinema. I'm Courtney.
I'm Dakota.
Welcome.
Hi. I thought we were going to do that really cool thing you did before where you were like, welcome back to New Friends Cinema.
Oh, late night radio.
Welcome back to New Friends at Night.
Ooh, new segment.
That's a little, New Friends at Night is a
different connotation.
Sexier vibe than this.
Oh my god, I love it.
Yeah.
Oh,
New Friends in the Morning.
New Friends in the Morning. Did you watch Community?
No, I couldn't. I fucking hate Chevy Chase.
Oh, fair enough. If you block him out, it's okay, but by season either 2 or 3, his, horrific, misogynistic, racist rampage, even on script, is terrible. That you're just like, no.
I've tried. I've definitely tried.
Yeah.
I'm also not a big Joel McHale fan.
He gives douche, right?
Yeah.
I think that's also the characters he's played.
I know. It's like, it's hard. You never know, right?
No.
Could be the world's nicest guy. Who knows? Even that's like...
Bearman.
Yeah. I just remember too when he guest judged on Drag Race once. Do you remember that?
No, I don't think I watched that season.
And he was next to Michelle Visage, and as they were doing the runway and stuff, he was going, woo! Woo! Like, really, really loud, and it was like, it felt like it was a bit.
Right.
But
That's like,
Michelle was like, obviously, like,
not the time or place.
Because it was, the vibe gave disrespectful. It was like, after that I was like, I don't know. It was just, the vibe was weird. Anyway. So I haven't seen Community.
Okay. Just for Donald Glover alone.
Oh yeah.
I will die for that man.
Mm-hmm.
Twice. I will come back. Die again.
Do it again. Yeah.
And die again. Yes.
Just like Jesus did for our sins.
Oh, I will do for Childish Gambino.
How
Anyways, I'm good. It is early. For us.
And it's already hot in here.
It's already hot. But
9 a.m. on a Saturday morning is early for anybody.
I agreed. Yeah. And it's only an hour and a half earlier than we typically start on the weekend. But there's just something about that Saturday where you've been conditioned since childhood to fucking sleep in and watch them cartoons. Scooby-Doo, for example. I would be in my PJs watching Scooby-Doo.
My mom was usually vacuuming aggressively by this point, by this hour in the morning on Saturday, but... that's why I can sleep through anything.
Thunderstorms, no problem. Manic cleaning on a Saturday morning? Yeah. No problem.
No problem. Yeah, Prob's chainsaw snoring.
Oh.
No problem. I actually did fall asleep to thunderstorms last night though.
Oh, okay. Was it rain and thunderstorm or was it a heat?
Rain and thunder. Yeah, in my headphones, yeah.
Oh, not real.
Yeah, you didn't just miss a thunderstorm last night.
We
live a block away from each other.
Well, it could have been at the but
across the sea.
Across the sea.
Yeah.
Yonder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just was in the vibe. Except it was I used to have this really good fall asleep to the Rainforest soundtrack. But now it's all incessant birds. I feel like it changed over time because it was Spotify made it.
Why more bird?
But it's not just the birds. It's one bird going over for 3 minutes straight.
Oh boy.
And it does the opposite of, it has the opposite effect.
Interesting.
Right? Yeah. You're
for some people they get into a bird trance where they're different trance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So we are here.
I just remembered, one more thing.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Colton and I were on the beach and there were these 2 seagulls that were being insane. Their eyes, first of all, blood red. What? They were sitting next to each other staring and they were, so aggressively. They were terrorizing the whole beach. And then some children took it upon themselves to disperse them. Mm-hmm. And I definitely saw one kid throw a rather large rock at them. It missed. And I was like, those kids are doing the Lord's work right now. And usually I would be, no, don't throw a rock. But honestly, that seagull deserved it.
He may have been the devil, given those eyeballs.
I was like, I'm gonna turn a blind eye to this.
Children, have at her.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, go on.
I was just gonna say, do you hear the flycatcher outside? Speaking of birds, do you hear that? That's a flycatcher. My favorite bird in the local area. And now she's not doing it. Great. Fuck you.
That is so embarrassing.
She's so pretty, Courtney. Wow.
Wow. You definitely didn't just make that up.
Okay, let's do it because this movie's long.
Oh, she's a long boy for sure. And that's my bad, but I'm not that sorry about it. First of all, new segment.
Yes.
Right?
Oh my goodness.
We got a couple of submissions.
We got our shit together and I posted on the gram. And we had some lovely people, shoot in.
Have you
their messages?
Have you gotten any personally?
No, I went to the Instagram and nobody's DMing, but
I got 2.
The Gmail situation is
working.
Lit.
newfriendcinema@gmail.com. You can always message us there. I have 2.
Okay. You pick.
I'm going to read the one from Avery. It's so sweet. This is
Hi, Avery.
An email, from our listener, Avery.
Star. Gem.
So she says, also, eventually we're going to figure out what the segment is called.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any great ideas.
Movie night, slumber party. I don't know. What else do you do?
Something better than that.
Fuck you.
Okay. It reads, Dakota and Courtney, I was on my way home from work when I finished the first episode of season 2. Obviously, I wanted to contribute some of my favorite movies. What is your favorite movie might be the hardest question for me to answer. When I'm asked this, my mind goes blank, like I've never watched a movie before. That is so relatable.
Yeah.
All I know is I love rom-coms, specifically older ones. This is because of my sister. A few movies that I love are Mamma Mia, 10 Things I Hate About You, 50 First Dates, really anything Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler, and She's All That. There are so many more, but I'll keep it limited for now. Hee hee. Whenever I see hee hee, I think, yeah. Like not cute at all. Yeah. I love these movies because they make me think of my sister. I love watching movies with her, laughing, crying, dissecting the movie together. It's why I love this podcast so much. So to summarize, classic rom-coms are always my go-to. You guys are brilliant for making this podcast, ... Signed, your biggest fan, Avery.
Oh my goodness, Avery. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm blushing. It could be the fact that it's like already like 25 degrees. But
you're sunburned.
Yeah. That's so sweet, Avery. Thank you.
I read that last night before I went to bed and I had a particularly stressful week and I was bawling.
Oh, bunny. Thank you. A rom-com purist. She loves a good romance and comedy.
Yeah, there's definitely an era too.
Oh yeah. That She's All That, 10 Things I Hate About You, like those late 90s, early 2000s rom-coms, especially like the high school centered ones. They're so relatable, but obviously not relatable in so many ways.
Not in any way. Yeah.
But yeah, those will always be a solid slumber party movie go-to.
Mm-hmm.
Because like cute people doing cute things.
Yeah.
Well, there are some not so cute things in a rom-com, but that's part of the formula.
I think my favorite thing is like, did She's All That invent the take her glasses off and she's hot trope?
I think so.
Or did they just perfect it?
Well, I doubt that there's like, oh my god, she took her monocle off and now she's hot. So I'm assuming that, like, wow, take that ponytail down.
I love, that is like one of my favorite things. It's so funny.
The instant makeover when it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You have a face?
Yeah, under there. Should we just get into it now?
Sure. Thank you, Avery. That was awesome.
Thanks,
Please feel free to send in your favorite movies to newfriendcinema@gmail.com and a little reason why. We'd love to hear it. We'd love to share it.
That was a really great example too. That was a perfect
A+.
Yeah, for sure. And it doesn't have to look like that. It could look like something else. And that.
Write me a poem. A haiku.
Love it. Definitely. Absolutely. Get creative with it. Have fun with it. Okay. Today we are talking about 2004. What?
Are you going to sing it?
Bum, 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 bum.
Now guess.
That's me trying to do that really
hard. Yeah. The organ. Yeah.
It's Phantom of the Opera.
Wait, we totally zoned out there.
We both just were staring at each other. Phantom of the Opera, 2004. Directed by Joel Schumacher. I'm getting the OC for some reason. He did Batman and Robin and Batman Forever.
Okay.
And when you know that, and you actually look at the aesthetic, you're like,
that tracks.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of gothic.
Very exactly, yeah. So Phantom of the Opera, it started out as a novel by Gaston Leroux, 1909.
Did not know that.
I was going to look into this more and then I forgot. But apparently it's loosely based on some real events that happened at the Paris Opera House.
Dang.
Yes. In 1986, the fucking genius Andrew Lloyd Webber turned it into a musical.
Yeah.
The one that we know and love today.
I would have to say that it's an epic musical.
Oh, yeah.
Given the length, the genius of using this like melodic like layover in all of the different songs. You can hear like little bits familiar everywhere.
When it gets to the end, no spoilers, until the end of this when
obviously
we spoil it. And it's like, yeah, all these different melodies coming and there's multiple people singing together and they're all singing in the melody of different songs that have happened throughout the movie, but they all come together in this amazing way.
That's genius.
Yeah. So right off the bat, we've got Gerard Butler, 35 years old at the time of this movie.
Yep.
We've got Patrick Wilson.
Oh,
my king.
He is in almost every horror movie that I enjoy.
I fucking love Patrick Wilson. And I've heard only good things about him as a real person as well.
That's good news.
He's just a guy.
That's rounding it out for me because he's like handsome and talented.
Yeah. He was 31 when this movie came out.
Interesting. 30s.
The incredible, indemnable,
iconic,
absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Emmy Rossum.
That soprano, those notes that she's hitting, I was singing along and then there was that point when she was in a boat and I'm like, nope, can't do that.
You're out. She was 18.
Yeah. Sweet baby. Child, even.
Child, you might say. So the age difference, I mean, classic Hollywood. The thing is, like, Patrick and her actually, like, their characters are supposed to be the same age. Or, like, maybe 1 year apart or whatever.
It
actually kind of tracks. I feel like the way, like, visually, the way they look.
Yes, they look
He looks very young.
Yeah.
And the Phantom is supposed to be, like, Madame Geary's age, right? So he's 40s? Supposed to be like in his late 40s.
Late 40s.
Right?
Ooh, that means that jet black, just for men box hair dye tracks.
Okay, but did you see, he has wigs. He's got wigs. There's like a few. So, yeah.
This movie's full of wigs.
Obviously. Obviously.
But yes, there is a stark age difference not only in like the IRL cast, but in the story as well. Isn't she supposed to be 16?
This whole movie's about a really intense grooming situation, to be honest.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
We will.
Wild.
We will unpack that when it gets to it.
So the first time I ever saw this was when I was little. I used to have a lot of, like, after I moved out of my granny's house and I was with, like my mom and, I would have a sleepover every weekend with my granny. And we would always rent a movie. And this was the first time I saw this movie was at a rental at movie night when it was new out in 2004.
How old were you?
Too young to watch this movie.
Yeah.
It blew my fucking mind. Oh my god. I just, like, it was so incredible. It was so, yeah.
Well, it's an epic. It's like a massive epic story. And of course your little mind was blown because it's just, first, the talent, the scale of everything too.
And Emmy Rossum is an actual goddess.
Oh yeah.
Like my little eyes seeing her, like, she was so beautiful.
Glowing.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, so I was immediately obsessed and the obsession never went away. And one of my, best friends, Kelsey, she is equally as obsessed with it as I am. And I actually have the soundtrack, the CD, but not to the movie. It's like to the
Broadway.
Yeah. And, I had that in my car for probably a year straight. And I would just blast it, like, ripping around all the time.
Well, every song is like a straight up belting opportunity. Even when it's like, like soft.
Yeah.
You're giving it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we used to, and we lived together at the time, so we would bomb around a lot.
Just ripping and roaring.
Yeah, for sure.
Going through the drive-through. Yeah. Masquerade!
Literally though, yeah. What about you?
So I think there's a couple personal stories that I'm going to pepper in when we talk about it.
Sure, yeah.
But certainly this movie, I think 14 when it came out.
Mm-hmm. And
I recall it being, really, really, inspirational. I was a choir kid, so I was all about that Broadway life.
Yes. Me asking the stupidest question of all time last week.
Well, honestly.
Do you like musicals?
To be fair, choral singing, theater kid. They are different worlds, to be fair. Mm-hmm. And there is some crossover. And I do fucking love musicals so much. And I think for our listeners, if you've never seen Phantom of the Opera, this is the kind of musical where they sing talk. So there's like...
Oh yeah, there's almost no actual speaking.
Very little speaking. It's
movie,
like, I'm walking up the stairs and I'm going down the stairs.
No. Like they're like talking to each other.
Yeah. In song. Yeah. So it's that kind of musical, which... So my grandparents had 2 VHSs at their house. It was Cats and Phantom of the Opera. And so, every time I would go over, that would be on, one of them. And I just love musicals because, I don't know, there's just so much beauty to that triple threat aspect of like the acting, singing, and dancing. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of dancing in this movie too, which I love, those massive, beautiful pieces. And at 14, I think I watched it once. And because I am a squirmy little baby, I don't think I could, watch the full thing. Mm-hmm. It was always like in the background and I'm watching a song and then I'm getting distracted, wandering off and then coming back. But the music, Andrew Lloyd Webber is a genius, right?
Yeah. All right, let's get into it.
Do it.
So the movie starts in black and white outside the Paris Opera House that is like decrepit at this point. A man in a wheelchair, an elderly man, he's going in and there's an auction today. There's an old lady. She gives him a knowing look. She's also at the auction. There's not a lot of people here.
Yeah, there was eye contact for sure.
Definitely like long knowing look. Yeah. The item that's up for auction that he is here for is this brass monkey that was found in the bowels of the opera house, and it's being auctioned.
Bowels.
I mean, it goes deep.
Yeah. Are they the catacombs? Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. They absolutely are ripping around in the catacombs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the man, he buys it and he starts singing in his head about how it's exactly as she said it was. It's every piece about it is exactly on point. The next lot up for auction, lot 666.
That's the devil number.
So, and then he says that you might recall the strange affair of the Phantom of the Opera, and that the chandelier figured heavily into this one culminative night to do with the Phantom of the Opera, whatever. They raise the chandelier up, like they unveil it and they start pulling it up, and intense organ starts playing.
Oh boy.
Wind is whipping around. Wind is whipping all the dust off of everything. Flame back into the candles.
It's magic.
Color back into everything. Yes, it is.
It's a time machine, actually.
We see the opera house in its original splendor. It's before a show. It's busy in there. The crew's all running around. I love that. Happens a few times in this movie. These scenes where it's like a panning camera over top of backstage and everyone's running around and there's like multiple layers and so much going on. It really reminds me of Baz Luhrmann. Like there are a lot of elements in this movie actually where it is like definitely quite similar.
Oh, there's like that overlap where you're like, inspirational match?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. The opera house has new owners, and they are going through the back room and they're being shown through by Madame Curie? It's spelled Giry.
Yep.
But I think they say like, yeah, it in a French.
Do you recognize her though?
Yeah.
She's from Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah.
Tight bun, hot lady. She's great in this. Who knew she could sing?
Yeah, right? Oh, also fucking Minnie Driver.
Oh my god,
absolutely
iconic.
killing it.
Yeah, those arias are insane.
Whoa. And as a kid, I literally didn't even clock that until this time I was watching. I was like, oh, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, I literally
she's
like,
so
fucking Mini Driver.
In character.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway,
yes.
we'll get there. But yeah, so they're being shown through everything that's happening. This is this is that.
Yeah.
It's an opera. They also have a really intense ballet school, like ballet program.
And this opera house is huge because there's like horses.
Everybody
like
lives
real
there,
horses
too. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there was like this marble sculpting center below. Like it's a living, breathing enterprise.
Yeah, they're definitely, everything is what they're producing, they're producing it all.
Yeah.
All elements of it, right?
And considering the fact that like there's literally nothing to do in 1919, being a part of something like this is the life force of the arts, right? Like you are, I'm imagining what it would be to be part of that world. Yeah. And it's just such an epic honor, I would imagine, to be a part of that Paris Opera House.
So yeah, they're being shown through, it's the energy of getting ready for the show. Carlotta, Mini Driver, she is the prima donna diva bitch.
Oh, and they call her a diva in like an endearing way. Yeah.
She is so cunty.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there was a high horse, she is on it.
Patrick Wilson is going to be the new patron of the Opera House. He's a
Viscount?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's on his way to have a meeting with the new owners as well. The old owner interrupts rehearsal to introduce the new owners who made their fortune in the junk business.
Scrap metal.
And the new patron, the Vicomte de Chanier. Ooh. Patrick Wilson, aka Raul.
And I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I think that might be his real hair.
Okay! I think it is. Yeah.
It has a little bit of that like real hair shine to it. That looks real.
I thought it was real.
Yeah.
I mean, I always assume everything's real because.
Well, we're the experts when it comes to clocking wigs.
You are.
Well, I say we now.
I'm learning. I've been to school.
You are my tutti.
Yeah.
Wig tutti.
Yeah, okay, where am I? So Christine is one of the chorus girls, one of the ballerinas.
Mm-hmm.
She's best friends with Meg, who is Madame Gurie's daughter. Mm-hmm. She recognizes the Vicomte as Raul, her childhood sweetheart best friend.
Yeah.
And she's like talking about how when she was little, before she came to live here, she's an orphan, we're gonna find out, that they used to play together, and I'll tell they have a weird like, little Lottie said, and then they, it's very strange.
Yeah.
He blows right past her.
Oh, and she's like, oh,
I guess he wouldn't remember me. So awkward.
Recognize me. You know, I'm 18 and we probably played when I was 8, so, or no, 7.
I think her dad died when she was 6 or 7, so it would have been, how she even remembers him is crazy. I'm just saying.
Love never dies.
So Carlotta has an issue with the new owners. I never actually really understand what she has an issue with. There are a few times where you're like, what are you?
I don't, this is what I clocked. I don't think she has a legitimate reason to be.
Just her vibe.
It is, I'm going to make a stink, and, well, I don't know. There's a certain personality to be a prima donna, and if it's not revolving around her, she'll make it.
Sometimes it is fun to be volatile. You know?
Look at fucking me right now.
No one ever knows really where they stand or what's going to happen next. That can be exciting. So, she has an issue with the new owners, and she says that she will not be singing. They grovel to her to sing Think of Me, which is allegedly part of this. They're putting on Hannibal. So apparently this is part of this show.
Historical Hannibal, not people eating people Hannibal.
Yeah,
for the record.
Hannibal with the elephants across the Alps.
Yeah.
She can hit it, but she's sharp. Like, her voice is...
You could see in the, like, as people are doing, you know, their various jobs, people are putting in, like, cotton in their ears because she's not quite, it's either too much vibrato or too sharp. She's just not it.
It doesn't have any softness. Yeah. And, the crew's pretty over it seems like. So as she's singing, a gloved hand releases a rope, to a big panel. So it releases a rope and this big panel falls on her.
Oh yeah, like a background or something.
A letter with a red seal drifts down from the rafters.
Drama.
So dramatic. So, Madame Geary, she's in charge of the ballet. Like, she runs a tight ship around her. She tells them that the letter is from the opera ghost, who says that he welcomes them to his opera house, 1. They better leave box 5 empty for him, 2. And that his salary is due. I did the math on this salary.
Oh, like old time francs to now? 20,000, right? How much?
20,000 francs a month in 1909.
Yeah.
Converted to Canadian dollars.
Thank you.
4,530. That's in 1909.
Okay, now
now we do the inflation calculator. For Canadian dollars, it only goes back to 1950.
Because we are a very young country.
Are you ready for this?
Oh my god.
$123,350.96
today. Okay.
A month.
Okay.
That can't be right. Maybe it is right. It's gotta be right.
I'm assuming it is right because this man is dramatic as fuck. He lives under an opera house. Of course he's requesting.
What does he need all that money for?
I don't know.
He doesn't need
candles?
outside.
It's literally the candle budget.
The candle budget is out of control.
Oh,
actually, just the wax in general. I think he's doing a lot of wax carving down there.
Oh, there's the weird fucking Christine.
He needs a lot of raw materials.
Let's just say that mannequin down there is mainly his primary budget.
Yeah. Yeah. So Carlotta stormed out, so they need an understudy. They're like, there's no understudy for Carlotta.
Who could sing this?
They're flipping out right off the bat. And Madame Geary speaks up that Christine could do it and that she's been getting lessons from a great teacher, and so she does it. They're like, a chorus girl? What? And then everyone's captivated.
I think they are shook to their deepest bowel, because this, when she sings this, it has that touch of softness and yet the fucking powerhouse to hit those notes.
Yeah, it is an
gorge.
Extremely different voice than Carlotta's.
Beautiful.
Yes. So the camera pans around and you can see like it goes from that rehearsal moment to now she's singing on opening night in front of a packed house. Raul's up in his box. He's watching her and he's like, holy shit. I know her.
Whoa.
That's my gal.
My 6-year-old friend.
He recognizes her and he leaves. Like, he takes off immediately, which is weird.
Side note, is that box the opera? I mean, is that the Phantom's box that he's sitting in?
I think so.
So it's like an extra salt in the wound moment. Not only did they not save it, but they're giving it to Raul.
Yeah. To him?
That guy?
That fucker?
He just waltzes in here. I was like, he owns the place. Actually, no, he definitely does own the place. Okay.
Yeah, you're literally a squatter. So the camera goes down the pipes to the Phantom under the opera, and he's like basking in her voice.
Oh,
right. He's really having a moment. She gets a standing ovation. I wrote Carlotta's goon, but it's like her handmaid. Like, it's like a sweet,
it's goon vibes.
But it is doing her bidding for sure, but I don't think she's a bad person.
No, she's doing her job. It's 1909. We gotta get paid.
Yeah, so she runs out to tell her what a success it was. Carlotta's furious. Everyone is celebrating after the show, partying hard. It was a success. Meg can't find Christine anywhere. She's looking for her. She finds her praying alone in this like creepy room.
It's giving underground, but also somehow stained glass with sunlight coming through somehow in the middle of the night. It's very dark and mysterious. It's all this like stone wall, but yeah, it's how big is this fucking opera house is what I want to know.
It's huge, yeah. So Meg asks her who's been teaching her because she fucking sounded amazing.
Yeah, she killed it.
Christine tells her that since she moved in when she was little, she would come and pray in this room because she lost her dad very tragically. I think her mom died in childbirth maybe, or like when she was really, really young. So it was just her and her dad, and then she lost him. She moved here. She would come and she would pray, and there would be a voice that would talk to her, and that she thinks that it's her dad's spirit.
And the spirit didn't say anything to, confirm or deny that. Really leaned in hard with that. I'm a ghost here.
Yeah.
Angel of music style.
Yeah, and I don't know if she does it now, but she mentions it a couple times that, cause her dad was an amazing violinist, he was a musician.
Mm-hmm.
And her dad had said to her, when I'm gone, an angel of music will guide you.
Mm-hmm.
And she really believes that this is like the angel of music, this is her dad's spirit, and that it is because of this, it's her dad, and like that has given her everything that she has.
Mm-hmm.
And she's really committed to this.
Naturally.
And she works really hard for it. She's very disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, she's fully like this is her big secret too.
It's a massive part of her life.
Yeah, it's her inside world. So, her friend pulls her out of the room because she's like, girl, you're talking crazy.
Yeah.
Right? And she questions her and she's like, who is this angel? Like, what are you literally talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Like, very confused. Christine goes to her dressing room. It's full of flowers. There is a long-stemmed red rose with a black ribbon. That is the Phantom's calling card.
Oh, yeah.
Raul comes into her dressing room. They immediately start riffing off of each other.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, the chemistry is intense. It is palpable. They remember each other.
Mm-hmm.
They're both hot now. Like, they're like, this is fate, right?
It's very sweet and also strange because they're doing that weird bit they did when they were like
Little Lottie
up in the attic.
thinks, does she like dolls or horses or goblins?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Or shoes. But clearly it's right back to where they were when she was, 5 and he was
that childhood
15?
banter, though. Yeah. So he tells her that they're going to dinner. She says that the angel of music is very strict. She can't go out. Like, she needs to stay. And he can't listen to her. Like, he does not listen to her at all. He leaves to go get the carriage. A gloved hand comes and locks the door to her room. Locks her in there. Madame Geary's standing right there. She watches
knows
it. She is on the level.
She's complicit.
She's complicit. Yeah. In her dressing room, all the candles go out.
Spooky.
The angel, quote unquote, is singing, and he is pissed about Raul. Yeah.
This man is already very possessive.
It's crazy. So she is begging him for forgiveness.
Mm.
And he says, look over here. I'm in the mirror. Like, you can see me. Because she's like, please, like, begging for forgiveness, and also kind of like, if only I could see you and know you're real, kind of thing. He's like, look over here, I'm in the mirror. She goes into a trance, and he's calling her to him. The mirror, like, opens up, and she takes his hand, follows him. Raul's banging on the door outside. But there's this whole movie's about power and control, like, and I guess from, like, a groomer, I literally was gonna say from a groomer standpoint, from a groomer's point of view.
You know, if we get inside a groomer's head.
But like, he started exercise, like, started this when she was like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
He has gotten into a point where she's completely under his control.
Yep.
Any element that is introduced that could threaten that balance, that imbalance that they have, is going to be very triggering for him.
He clocks Raul, and he hears and sees everything in this opera house, right? So he's not a stranger to the fact that they have a history, they have, you know, a connection, and that anything to threaten him in the means of like her autonomy, her ability to make her own decisions, her ability to just be like with someone relatively close to her age. He's the epitome of dramatic in the grooming sense as well, but like he has a few fucking hissy fits that we'll talk about.
Oh boy. Yeah. They go deep under the opera house. I also really wanted to mention when they're going through that corridor and it's all these golden candelabras that are being held by gold painted like
arms?
Actual human arms.
Yeah.
And they all move aside. I love that. That is so cool.
Oh, and later on when we find out that none of that was there is trippy as balls. Cause she's in a trance, right?
Yeah.
And she's seeing all these things. And when they're going down these corridors, first of all, they walk through the mirror. Epic.
Okay. Yeah. They go so deep, right? There's a horse.
It's like, is this a gag? Because they are going through a massive golden hallway with golden armed candelabras. Oh, there's a horse. Oh, there's a
gondola.
An underground river. Which is why I think it's like in the catacombs, right? But the journey that it took to get to this man's lair.
So long, yeah. So he brings her to his home base, I guess, basically. There are candelabras coming out of the water. There are candles everywhere. We said the candle budget is out of control. She is hitting those high notes.
Oh.
That last, like right at the end when they get there, and there's no music, and it's just that is
and no
so
dogs. They all
crazy.
ran away. So high.
So high. Like, I think it's like her and Christina Aguilera can hit that, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes, she's 18, so she's quite young, because our voice deepens as we get older, right? So that makes sense.
He tells her that he brought her to his kingdom of music to serve him by singing. Now, again, like we said, like there's no talking in this movie. So it's similar to me fucking translating Shakespeare. This is me really just pulling out the relevant information out of these songs.
Absolutely.
So basically, this is what he's saying, right?
Yeah, you're mine.
This is his kingdom of music. You are here for one reason only, to serve me by singing. Then he starts singing the music of the night, which is really good. It's,
I'm trying to like summarize which song or which melody defines, but this is one of the songs that define him.
I feel like the two men, they both have word that I'm thinking is aesthetic, but like for sound. Like his vibe, it's nighttime, it's dark,
spooky.
And it returns to that throughout the movie. Raul is the sun, basically, right?
Yeah.
It's light, it's gentle, it's freedom, you know. So, so they kind of return to those themes in many different songs, right?
Yeah.
So he's singing the music of the night. He's telling her to get into it down here, basically, and forget about daylight in the outside world. Like, that's what the song is about.
Yeah. It's ultimate you're mine. Yeah, get used to it.
And turn your face away from the day. Forget the life you knew before.
Come live with me in the dungeon.
Yeah.
What he's saying.
We have everything we need.
Yeah. Candles.
Yeah.
Smoke machine. That's probably some form of hallucinogen because she's tripping balls down there.
Absolutely peyote smoke in there. He leads her to a perfect wax replica of herself.
Of the guffaw moment that I went,
what? And she faints.
Naturally.
And also, it's wearing a wedding dress and veil.
Child bride.
How many times has he kissed that thing is what I want to know.
Kiss.
Kissing on, well, girl, please. I'm trying. I'm trying. Yeah.
He is obsessed. He is talking to this doll. He is loving this doll. And now he has this real life version of the doll. And there's some form of threesome he's thinking about at some point.
Yeah. So she faints. He carries her to his amazing bed.
That bed looks so uncomfortable.
It's incredible though. It's like
is it a
giant
clamshell?
gold. It's a swan.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like a
clam.
swan with the wings going up the side.
Oh, that explains the
like
bird face.
Circle. Yeah.
Why does that clam have a bird face?
And then it's like all red, like silky.
Yeah,
velour.
80s.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely actually is giving Batman villain now that I know that.
Totally.
Yeah. Meg goes looking for Christine and she finds that the corridor, like that mirror was like double-sided. There's a corridor behind it. But her mom stops her from going in at the last minute. In another room, one of the stagehands is scaring the chorus girls with stories of the Phantom. Madame Geary gets very serious and she tells him that he better watch his fucking back. And she also tells him, keep your hand at the level of your eye.
And I was like trying to figure that out. Like, is that for like fighting purposes? Like boxing?
Well, we know his method of choice. I think it's, so he can't get a noose around your neck.
Oh, cause he does like
to Raul when he goes down there and he tells him, he's like, should have kept your hand up there.
Yeah. Oh my god, he's got like a fucking calling card. He is a villain.
He has a handful of calling cards.
Jesus, sorry. I got the banana and the microphone.
Punched yourself in the face.
I better keep my hands above my face.
Yeah.
I did not clock that. Thank you. I thought it meant for like boxing or like.
I always thought it was like, with a knife in it, right? Like your knife in your hand.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah. But as I was watching it this time and then I noticed that he said that to Raul when he like gets him. Yeah. And I was like, oh, it's so that he can't
strangle you.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because that's his mode.
Which is such an intimate fucking way of murdering people.
Yeah.
Psychotic, even.
You might even say. Like, yeah, absolutely. This guy's fucking crazy. He is a menace.
Literally.
He's dangerous. Yeah. Okay, so Christine wakes up. She tenderly pulls his mask off. Like, he's like at the piano and she like glides over and she like stands behind him and she pulls his mask off and he flips the fuck out. Oh yeah, we haven't mentioned it yet. If you don't know. The Phantom wears a mask over half of his face, a white opera mask just on half of his face.
Mm-hmm.
If you've never seen that visual. So she pulls it off. He flips the fuck out and he tells her, now you can never be free.
Yeah.
Because you just saw how disgusting I am.
Well, you done it. Which is just so jarring for her character, right? Because up until this point, since she was 6 years old, all of the grooming indicated, I am a safe person. Yeah. I am your only person. I know you like no any other. And I love you and you're safe with me. And that whole song prior to that indicates that this is a safe space. How fast he fucking turns on her is just, well, psychotic.
Classic, toxic, yeah.
Yeah. And she's scared.
She's very scared, yeah. He's a big man and she is literally a leaf.
A child?
So,
yeah.
Yeah. He sings about how he's an ugly monster, but he wishes that he was an angel. That's his whole thing.
Yeah.
She cries. And he tells her that it's time to go. So we don't know how long she's been down here, but it feels like it's actually been a while. Like it's been probably a day.
They're concerned up there.
They're worried about her. She's straight up missing at this point. Back to black and white. Back to the future. We see another knowing nod between the old people. That's it. Now we're back in the past. Yeah. There's so many they're laying it on so thick with these flashbacks or flash it forwards, I guess, of being like, who could it be? You know what I mean? And it's just like these little completely useless moments in black and white.
It's like, and if you have eyes, you know who it is.
Or ears, because he was singing. It was Patrick Wilson singing. Yeah. Anyway,
I wonder who it is.
Who could
Age
it be?
defies all.
These old people that know each other. So back to the past, the owners are singing about how hard it is to run a business. And because Christine is missing, now they have no star. One is saying that it's fucked, and the other is saying that all press is good press.
Classic theater people.
So Raul barges in asking where Christine is. Carlotta busts in. Everyone has letters from the opera ghost. Basically the letters, they're all saying different stuff, but they all kind of tie together. Basically he's saying that Christine is going to be taking over Carlotta's position and that she is safe with the angel of music, quote unquote. Madame Geary lets them know that Christine is back just in time. So at a desk, this is so fucking weird. The Phantom has these little like miniature stages set up with like little figurines.
Yeah.
And he like takes the head off of one of the lead and then puts it on this other one. He switches the heads. He says in this letter that Christine is going to be playing the lead and that Carlotta will be playing the page boy, which is a silent role. Carlotta is so fucking pissed. The owners say, no, you're the star. She goes to storm out. There's a crowd with roses. She has a moment being like, oh. And then they're like, Miss Daae, can you give this rose to Christine? Yeah. So she comes back in and she's very upset. And then they start singing to her Prima Donna, which is so good. They're carrying her around. They're drinking out of her shoe. They're giving her diamonds and puppies.
Oh, they're fluffing smoke up her ass. They are trying to placate this woman so and I think it's like divas have to feel that level of adoration in order for them to not only participate but to actually do their work. Like it's part of it.
From experience.
I totally relate to this woman.
Yeah. So Patrick Wilson is in the background during this song wondering about Christine because also Madame Geary told him that he can't see her. So they're singing Prima Donna and he's like, Christine, I wonder what's up with that.
Yeah.
Like, the show starts. Carlotta's handmaid puts her throat spray on a tray that's like off to the side of the stage. A gloved hand comes in and switches it out for something else. The Phantom is lurking around in the rafters. He yells from somewhere really loudly that his box should have been left empty. Everyone's kind of like, what the fuck? So that kind of like stops the show a little bit because everyone's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Carlotta goes, she's like, it's fine. We'll start over. She goes, sprays her throat. And he says something, I wish I should have written it down, but he was like, maybe you are the toad kind of thing. Like,
well, he promised them negative consequences if they didn't listen to him.
Yeah.
And they didn't. So here are the negative consequences.
So when she tries to sing, she's burping or
croaking. Like that's the toad vibe, right? Which is hilarious.
On the fly, they put Christine to be in the lead. She's in the back getting suited up. He left her the rose. Meanwhile, Phantom is chasing the stagehand around in the rafters, the one that was talking shit about him earlier. Yeah. He strangles him up there and drops him down to hang from a rope onto the stage, which is like so fucking stupid because now nobody's gonna watch the show.
Yeah, you spent all of that effort to get Christine in that lead role and then you just sabotage the whole fucking thing by dropping this guy hanging from a noose.
Like that's, traumatizing for everybody. Now nobody's gonna want to watch your opera.
Classic.
So crazy. So Raul finds Christine. She tells him that they're not safe here. She tells him he will find Raul and that he's obsessed with her and that he will kill 1,000 men to get to her. And Raul's like, Christine, you're fucking crazy. Girl, chill out.
You're not that popular.
So they get up onto the roof and Raul tries to tell her that there's no phantom. She tells him that she's been to his world and she's telling him about her experience and he's telling her she was dreaming. Fucking classic. She tells him she feels sad for the Phantom and the Phantom whole time is listening to them.
Like the pervy little skis. He's like on the roof.
Behind a gargoyle.
Yeah, like lurking. They're having this like intimate gaslighting moment. He is still fully able to pull the strings where he's at.
The music in this scene is so fucking good though. I love that. This song is just like my heart. It's so good.
Can I tell you a story?
Yeah.
So when I was 16 and in choir, my boyfriend, who was a little bit older than me and handsome as fuck, and when I tell you I was goo goo gaga for this guy, because we all are at 16, for Valentine's Day, he sang this song in front of everyone. With the director on the piano on stage in front of everyone to me. I was both mortified and like, it was just like this the epic love of teenagehood was absolutely insane at this moment. And I just remember listening to this and last night when I was watching this and having this moment of like, I don't know what to do with my face because everyone's staring at me while this is happening.
Oh yeah, you're just like,
and I was like smiling. I'm like, oh God, this is so embarrassing, but also I'm flabbergastedly like so touched.
That is so sweet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so this song has a special spot in my heart.
Oh, for sure. Aw, that's so sweet. And then you married him.
No.
Oh.
That, as it does,
it
ended
didn't work
terribly.
Out.
No. High school love does not end very well.
No. So Raul sings, the song is All I Ask of You. To her, he's saying that he's there for her, she's not alone. I see it's in my notes. He's like the sun and the light. She sings, promise me you'll stay with me and protect me forever. That's all. That's all. She wants freedom. He asks her to share love and a lifetime together. Anywhere you go, let me go too. Okay. They just fell in love in front of the Phantom. Oh. He is shook.
He's pissed.
Holy fuck. So they take off. Phantom she had been holding the Phantom's rose. She dropped it. They leave.
Symbolism.
He fucking picks it up, crushes it.
Oh, he's pissed.
He's singing that he gave her everything by teaching her how to sing, and how she repays him is by falling in love with this Chad. And that, of course, Raul would fall in love with her when he heard her sing because it's so beautiful. Of course, everybody would love her. And I did that.
Yes. Everything is about you.
He can hear the echoes of them singing. He shouts, "You will curse the day you did not do."
Dramatic.
All that the Phantom asked of you. Sorry, I had to finish it once I started.
Fair enough.
I promised myself I wouldn't. So back to black and white. The old man is watching some people in front of a shop and he has a flashback of Raul and Christine macking out in front of that shop window when they were young. That's it. Yep. Back in the past, fireworks, everyone's dressed up. It's the masquerade ball.
Oh, this part of the movie is amazing.
Oh, so fucking good. So the owners are patting themselves on the back right now for their success, and that they're like, the Phantom won't be here. I guess he's kind of been MIA for a few weeks.
Yeah, because he's pining and plotting.
He's plotting hard. So, but I just love how confident they are. So the vibes are high at this party. Everyone's dancing. Everyone has fans. There's so much voguing happening.
I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't fucking high as kites. Like the intensity
the
of
coca shipment just came in.
Yeah. Let's get it out there. But this scene, the level of orchestrated dance and costume and set design and this song Masquerade is so fucking good. I think this is my favorite part of the movie.
I used to know this song word for word by heart, which is saying something if you've ever heard this song. It's a mouthful. It's a mouthful, yeah. Yeah, it's so great. I know this is one of my favorite parts for sure. I think I have about 5.
Well, I think this is the middle part-ish of the movie.
Yeah.
And everybody's just having a good time.
There's so little people enjoying themselves in this movie. Yeah. So it's nice to just have everybody partying. And it's very much also, it's like Titanic. It's like upstairs people, downstairs people.
Yep.
So there's 2 parties happening. Some of the workers pinch some alcohol to take it down to the other party.
Everybody's celebrating.
So Christine has a huge fucking rock on her neck. A ring around a chain. They're engaged, but she wants to keep it a secret, which is like, so wear your fucking huge engagement ring on your neck to keep it a secret.
Subtle.
So subtle. He doesn't understand why she wants to keep it a secret. The help is pilfering bottles. They're having their own party. Right at the climax, the Phantom shows up looking, I spelt it how you say it. Fine.
Fine.
He looks fucking good.
All in red.
That red suit.
Yeah.
Does something for me.
You know, at this point, it's giving not only like groomer, pedophile, whatever, but also like this is a man who lives under an opera house. He is dramatic. He is theater incarnate. And here he comes out in this like really fine tailored red suit. And I'm like,
probably made.
He's down there like stitching them all together.
The way the buttons on the front.
Oh,
like,
lapel. It's almost military-ish, but not.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm also like, yes, this tracks. This very dramatic man would have this grand entrance because he lives in a theater.
I love the high pants.
Oh.
The high kind of, you can really
to the nips
see what's going on down there. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of like Antonio Banderas, like Zorro vibes. The pants, the pantalones. So,
is he wearing like the weird skull mask?
Yeah, it's like a skull mask just across the top.
Yeah. So he's leveled up his costume.
Yeah. He has a cape, right?
Naturally.
I mean, he always has a cape.
He's a theater kid.
He's
of
a
course
red
he's got
cape,
a fucking cape. And a sword?
Yeah, and a real sword. So he shows up looking fine. He's like, oh, why is everyone so surprised? Did you think that I left forever?
His party is for me, right?
I was just lying low, writing my life's work, my masterpiece, Don Juan Triumphant.
Don Juan Triumphant. I remember the Don Juan part, but I forgot the triumphant part. God, he's so dramatic.
So Raul slips away, leaving Christine.
Yeah, bye.
He's always slipping away. He's, so Phantom says Christine's gonna be the lead, obviously. I'm sure, I bet you other people who don't really understand, like, how fucking intense and scary this is are like, what the fuck did she do to get him so obsessed with her? Like, why, like,
they
why
wouldn't
can't
get it.
I be the lead?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, very that.
Why can't I be groomed?
Like, sleeping with the boss, like,
yeah.
And it's like, you don't understand what she's really going through. It's awful.
No.
So she's gonna be the lead. And she's great, but she still has a lot to learn, so she needs to come back to him for teaching.
Of course she does. ?
She goes back into that trance. He sees the huge ring on her neck and fucking can't handle that. He tells her she belongs to him. Throws some of those, like, popping, he, like, throws a smoke bomb.
Like those things?
Yeah. jumps into the floor. Raul runs up, jumps in after him. There's a bunch of mirrors all around him. He's so confused. He's taking swings. Madame Geary just comes in and grabs him out of there easily. Raul is questioning her for information about the Phantom. She doesn't want to talk about it because of all the accidents.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, are you fucking kidding me? And she's also saying, I don't know anything more than what anyone else does. And it's like, bitch, you just rescued me so fast.
Mm-hmm.
You knew exactly where this was. Don't lie.
Mm-hmm.
So she tells him through a flashback that when she was a kid training to be a ballerina at the opera house and living there, they all went to see a traveling fair, and there was, she found him there. He was being really seriously mistreated.
Oh, that kid was being abused.
Called him hard, yeah. They called him the devil's child. And she witnessed him kill his keeper.
Yeah, abuse, like
his abuser, yeah.
He was, quote, the freak at the freak house in this traveling circus and being horrifically abused. And so we do get this like tiny little viewpoint into how a monster truly is born, you know, abuse people. But it's really quite sad because you see this little kid.
And he's young.
Yeah. So she steals him, right?
Yeah, she steals him. She hides him under the opera house. It's really funny though, 'cause it's like in slow motion. She grabs him away before, cause someone comes in and he's like, murder! And then this cop shows up and he's like, which way? Which way? Yeah. She hides him in the opera house. And she tells Raul he's a fucking genius. Like, which is like, well, I mean, he's got a lot of time on his hands.
Yeah. And geniuses can also be bad people.
Yeah. So Christine sneaks out of her room in the night to go to the cemetery. Raul so it seems like, yeah, she's, I'm under the impression she has moved back in to the opera house, or, cause
Christine?
Yeah, or like into this space, because Raul's like sleeping outside her door. Maybe it's just he's there because now the Phantom's back, but how could they ever think that he was actually gone? Like, I'm a little confused by this, but she sneaks out in the night, sneaks past him to go to the cemetery. The Phantom knocks out the coachman and takes his place. Raul wakes up just in time to see her riding away. She's meandering slowly to her dad's grave.
It's very haunting.
Singing, wishing you were here, wishing, what's it called? You were somehow here again.
Yeah.
Just a really, really beautiful moment.
Beautiful and sad, and we get to see that this is just like, you know, a really sad, broken girl.
Yeah, this song is really about her grief around her dad's passing and how she finds strength in his memory. When she gets to his grave, which is like a big tomb with doors.
Yeah, like who was this guy?
The Phantom fucking starts singing to her as the angel of music. This is where we realize that Christine doesn't fully get it yet.
Cause she's like, who is that? I'm like, Christine! You
know who it is.
Oh, sweetie.
She's still really, so that really shows how deep this runs too, though, that
yeah.
She has been so conditioned by him.
Yeah.
That she still, after everything that's happened, is wanting to believe that there's that. Maybe it's two people. Maybe it's two things. Maybe it is the ghost, the angel of music, and it's also this man. That it's two things happening. Who knows?
Yeah.
But she's still having some belief in this way. And we're realizing that in this moment, which is like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So the grave illuminates, the doors open, it's like warm light inside. He's telling her to quit resisting him. She's slowly heading into the tomb. Raul rides up just in time and tells her, that's not your father.
Girl, wake up!
Yeah. Phantom jumps down from the top of the tomb and a duel ensues. Christine stops Raul from killing the Phantom. At the end of the duel, he has the upper hand. He could have killed him right there. They ride off, leaving him on the ground. He gets up and says, now let it be war on you both.
It's always been a war on everybody.
Raul is telling the owners about his plan to trap the Phantom, that they're gonna go through with his opera. Christine's gonna be in the lead. Obviously, he's gonna come to watch. The cops are gonna be called. They're gonna be waiting, and they're gonna catch him. Genius plan. Christine finally understands that the angel of music is the Phantom, and she's terrified.
Naturally.
She's really fucking scared. Raul reminds her that the Phantom is nothing but a man, but while he lives, he's gonna haunt them until the end. And she really is the bait in this plan. He also has a moment that's really hilarious in this where he's telling her in song again. He's basically saying like, Christine, don't think that I'm insensitive, but every hope, every possibility we have of this working is on you.
No biggie.
Yeah.
No pressure.
No pressure.
She also just had to learn an entire piece in like a day, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So the opera starts, everyone's in their places, the Phantom, as they're singing, and it's very like, it's black and it's fire, it's red, it's like
hell,
salsa dancing. Yeah. So Piangi, who's like the male lead, he is singing in the beginning, and then he has a part where he goes backstage, and the Phantom replaces him in this moment. He starts singing Past the Point of No Return, which this part, when I was a kid, I was like, well, even still, I hold my breath for this part. It's so
intense and sexual and just very possessive.
I know, but it's like, I'm into it. In this, you know, like the hands on her, his hands on her chest,
you know,
and
coming
stuff.
from behind. That's also very like iconic for this moment.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And her dress, how it has those straps that kind of they keep falling down.
Oop.
Yeah. Whew. So, okay, where am I? He's singing Past the Point of No Return. She hears his voice, like she's not facing him. She hears his voice and immediately she knows. As she is singing her part, she gives Raul a look and then they realize, oh fuck, it's him. And they're like, what the fuck do we do? And he's literally has her in his grasp now. Right?
The plan is kind of falling apart.
Then
not watching anymore, sorry.
At the peak, the climax of Past the Point of No Return. Also when they climb the stairs and she gets up there and she goes, and she does that stance and then she has to sing, she says something, consume us. When she says consume, it's so low. It's like fucking so good. Anyway, and then, so they're up there and it's the climax. They're like right up in each other's grills and he starts singing All I Ask of You. And she's kind of like, you were listening to us. Like there's this moment, like that's her and Raul's song.
Yeah.
And there's this moment when he starts singing it and she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
They're on stage, packed house. She rips his mask off. Second time.
Yeah.
Everyone acts like they can see something. It's like,
you're like 3 yards away, ma'am. Settle down.
Everyone in the crowd's like, and it's like, you can't see, like, really?
Also, from what I recall, his face with the scarring is facing downstage, so people in the audience are just seeing Gerard Butler at this time, because it's like half and half.
Yeah, he does, but his hair is also, like, white now, so she gets his wig too, I guess.
I suppose.
But, and he's like looking very crazed.
Yes.
And again, the mask slips. Now we're seeing the real, you know, the facade is gone. Yeah. This is the reality of this person. But also it's like, he's got some scarring. Like he's not like, people are so fucked. That's all I'll say. Yeah. Is like, it's not like, I mean, also commenting on people's appearance and stuff, whatever, but it's like, it's not that bad. Like really, it's not, it just, you know, it's not like he has two noses or something, like really, you know what I mean? Like,
he's got a scarred face, therefore he is in the freak show. Like that is, by all standards, he checks all the boxes for freak now.
Yeah, it's just so crazy to me. They jump through the floor. The chandelier comes swinging down. And the whole place lights on fire. The whole place is a powder keg.
Yeah. All of those fabrics.
Yeah. And it's all the light is fire already. So it's just like, And
it like, massive windows are being blown out with fire. People are screaming and running over top of each other.
A lot of people fucking died.
I would imagine so.
So Raul, he's running into the dungeon. Madame Geary is running next to him. She's giving him tips. Keep your hand at the level of your eye. Blah, blah, blah. Like,
and for a really long time, you're kind of questioning Madame Geary at this point because she is complicit, yes, because she has this personal bond with the Phantom and she understands where he's coming from but like, is still unable to hold him accountable until this point. So she is now seeing he's not by the monster by what people would say he is because of his, facial features. He's a monster because he's a terrible person. Yeah. And so she's now reckoning with, oh, my childhood friend is a bad person. You do have to go stop him. So you do get to see her character development at this point too.
And she's kind of having this, exactly, of being like, oh, like, I really supported this going unchecked for a really long time.
Yeah. I facilitated it, actually.
Yeah. So Meg is running with them and she's like, I'll go with you. And her mom's like, fucking no. But Meg is like, she's cool.
Meg is a fierce friend and she wants to protect Christine. She's also quite brave. She was like willing to go down and like go find her. And everyone's dismissing her.
And she knows that her mom knows more, and like she's been trying to solve this mystery the whole time too. She doesn't have a lot of screen time, but like yeah.
Let's give Meg props.
Yeah, she is a pretty great character though. So the Phantom's like dragging her down by the hair, basically.
Romantic.
He tells her, you asked why I was condemned here. It's only because of my face. Basically. He's like, cause earlier she was like, why? Like, why are you? And he's like, the only reason is because of this. And he asked her why she had to embarrass him like that.
Cause it's all about him.
Yeah. So Raul's running really fast down these stairs. The staircase goes down for seemingly ever. Falls through a trapdoor. This is so scary though, actually. So he falls through this trapdoor into water. Yeah. And then immediately this grate starts descending over top of him. So eventually he's going to get pressed to the bottom and drown.
That's terrifying.
He manages to find like a lever underneath that he can turn and it releases the trap. He gets out. He's fine. Down in the Phantom's room, he is looking at her ring. She's pissed off, finally. Yeah. And she's asking him if he's happy now. Are you fucking happy now?
Yeah.
Like,
well done.
Jesus Christ, right? He's like, just please marry me. Puts the veil on her. Again, we're singing this whole time. Puts the veil on her. He says, you're mine now. Get into it.
Love.
Get
romance.
Into it, girl. You're mine.
Yeah.
She uncovers his mirror and says his face holds no horror for her. It's his soul that's fucked up.
Girl, get it.
He almost feels bad for a second. And then Raul shows up. So Raul is begging him to set her free. Phantom lifts. It's like there's this gate, like to get into his, and also it's all water. And then his like area is like on a dais, like up, set up out of the water. Yeah.
It's also like the most lime green, scary ass looking catacomb water you've ever seen.
Yeah. So Raul comes up. He lifts the gate up to let him in. And then he ties him to the gate, basically, because he didn't have his hand at the level of his, and he tells him,
idiot,
should have kept your hand up there. So he tells Christine now she has to choose. Stay with me and I will set him free. If you don't, I'll kill him. This is the point of no return. And yeah, it's the point of no return for you. You cannot go back from fucking transgressing like this, right?
Yeah. The veil has been lifted.
Yeah. So she says that any tears that I may shed for you in pity are hate now. And he starts strangling Raul. And Raul is like, why are you making her lie to you to save me? He's telling Christine not to throw her life away to save him and that he fought so hard to free her. And it's like, you could have listened to her a little more, I think, but yeah.
Yeah, that whole gaslighting on the roof thing is really working out for you, huh, Raul?
It was not just on the roof. It was in her dressing room in the beginning. Yeah. It was at the beginning of the he's not a great listener, but, she starts singing about how the angel of music deceived her. She's really upset. She goes to the Phantom and tells him he's not alone, and she kisses him. And kisses him, like, a couple times. The kiss is so good that it makes him realize how fucked up this is. And then he tells her to take Raul away and just forget everything and leave him alone. So they take off on the gondola.
And sing to each other on the way out.
La la la. All I ask is... The search parties are coming down. They're on their way. He's sitting on his bed watching his brass monkey and he's sadly singing Masquerade to himself. Christine comes back and gives him her engagement ring, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
How big was that? It was like a huge, I don't know carats, but that was a huge diamond in the middle circled by about 12 smaller diamonds.
It was at least the size of a peanut M&M. with various nerds around it, if that makes sense. And this is the only way for me to describe jewelry in candy.
Fully.
Candy metrics.
Fully glossette.
Yes.
So Raul and Christine ride away together on the gondola for real this time. So it's over now, the music of the night. That's what he says. He smashes all his mirrors and leaves through a secret passage behind one of them. When Meg and the police get there, he's gone. Back in black and white, old Raul.
What?
It was him the whole time.
Along?
He goes to Christine's grave with the brass monkey he bought at auction. On their grave, we see that they got married and they had kids. She lived from 1854 to 1917, so she was 63.
Damn, that's like 105 in this time. Like, back then? That's a long life.
63 when she passed away. He leaves the monkey there and nods, and then as he looks down, he sees a long-stemmed red rose with a black ribbon and the engagement
that
ring
he gave to Christine
on it. Yeah.
Trippy.
So, the end. So Phantom's still out there.
Wow. And let's get into what was it like rewatching, or like when was the last time you rewatched this?
I have it on DVD. I watch it a lot. Not that long ago.
Okay, not that long ago. What's it like to rewatch it again, kind of with this lens?
Well, you know, this is something I've been kind of transitioning through over the last few years. Honestly, no lies. Growing up, I was Team Phantom. I was Team Phantom well into my 20s.
That was the intention of the movie and the musical, right? Is for you to have sympathy for this man.
And it was only until a few years ago that I really started shifting to Team Raul. I mean, in this movie, in this reality, it's Team Phantom or Team Raul. There's no Team Christine.
No.
Like, on her, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's literally, it's about these two men, right? Yeah. And so it's only recently that I started shifting to Team Raul. Yeah, and then watching it the other day, I was just like, man, they both suck. Give her a break. Can her and Meg run off together? Like, please. Meg is so supportive. Yeah. And and a good listener and like gentle and brave. Yeah. Please. Yeah. I don't know. I love it. And it's, so fucked up. Like, so problematic. So. Yeah. But, I don't care.
It's so strange, right? To have both simultaneously live in this world full well knowing that this, even its conception for the musical in 86, this is a story written about a grown-ass man grooming a 6-year-old to be his wife. Yeah. And not only wife, but like possessive prisoner level wife. Yeah. And yet, the way that it's delivered creates this chemistry of sympathy and almost like you are being groomed while like watching it, right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And there's so many. So I was looking up this online last night and like reading articles. This is, okay, musical aside on Broadway, that's a whole other world, but this movie specifically has a chokehold on hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people because I think it speaks to, honestly, obviously many different layers of patriarchy in our life, but it just speaks so much to women and the romanticism and the allure of this bad boy nature and getting sucked into it. How could you not want to cheer for him and have sympathy? Because we see his upcomings and why as a child he is the way that he is. Yeah. But we have such a hard time holding those men accountable. And like you said, in the past few years, you're kind of reckoning with that. But as young, impressionable women, we are force-fed to really enjoy and forgive and, you know, love these men because they do a really good job humanizing him. So you do feel, and like you said, during that one point of no return, it's hot and sexual, but it's like, whoo, take a step back. Wow. So I find it really fascinating.
Yeah, it's speaking to something like huge, you know, really, really. Exactly. It's like that's a layer that I've only started to peel back recently. I would never have thought deeper about it.
And the delivery format, it's an amazing artistic piece. The music, the visuals, like it's gorgeous. And so it's kind of like all wrapped up and it's quite, I would say that it's quite confusing.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But the genius that is Andrew Lloyd Webber, is hard to, as like, you know, I loved the musicals, and also like you did write it in 86 and you did write it in this way where even then we're like, are we not questioning the fact that what's going on here is weird?
Yeah. And I think though, take all context away. The songs are bangers.
God, they are very hard to not sing along because they're so repetitive. You as the watcher and listener already know and can kind of sing along as it goes. And I had subtitles on, so I was just singing along with it.
Yeah. And the part where he's sitting on his bed at the end and he's kind of broken voiced and he says, Christine, I love you. I'm just like, I cry. I will cry.
Yeah.
Like I cry at that. And, it's like, frick off, guy. But I don't know. Yeah.
It's complicated.
It's fully, yeah.
It's messy.
I think there's part of it too, and I'm gonna make excuses for him right now, where it's like, in a way, I feel like he's so stunted as well.
Oh yeah.
Like so stunted, and then it's just like this obsession was so consuming, and I feel like in the end when she did just kiss him, which is like, she shouldn't have had to do that, and he has this moment of clarity, of like, like, what the fuck, you know, am I doing kind of thing? And it's like, I don't know. Yeah, there's something else to that for sure.
There's a sequel to this.
Could be.
No, there is.
What?
Yeah. And they did it specifically because there was such public outcry that she didn't pick him. So in the sequel,
that's so fucked.
In the sequel, it is them having, I didn't get too far into it, but essentially I read that there was such a public outcry specifically after this movie, not necessarily the musical, that they wrote a sequel that they have another shot at it and get back together or something like that.
So it's like a book. They didn't make a movie.
I do believe it's a movie.
What?
Yeah.
But like
B-rated.
No.
No. Andrew Lloyd Webber was not a part of it whatsoever. Yeah. He's like, no, that's enough. But
because it ended correctly also.
Yeah.
Like for that. It's like,
yeah.
I know it is kind of also like maybe, well, I don't want to blame her. I'm not, but it's like she could have kissed him at the beginning and saved many lives, maybe. But like when, like just that it came down. It's so much has happened. People have died. This is the point of no return.
Exactly.
And she gave him a closed mouth kiss on the mouth, and he was like, "Oh, my bad." What?
Yeah.
You know,
wild. It's a true commentary on understanding broken people and creating room for empathy and, you know, acceptance and forgiveness, but also what does it mean to hold people accountable while also knowing that they're human? It's just it's such a really good glimpse at how it's a complicated issue. Bad people do have reasons for being bad, but when do we hold people accountable? So how do you want to rate it?
Like, are you jumping in? Like when he jumps through the floor a couple times, are you chasing after? Are you going down into the catacombs? Are you solving this mystery? Are you going, oh yeah, there's some weird shit going on at the opera house.
I definitely want to solve the fucking mystery.
Yeah.
For sure. And I want to take Christine and Meg and I want to show them the world and yeah, like that's the fucking sequel that I want to see.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Christine growing up in an alternate universe where she does continue her beautiful career.
Her and Meg just unpacking the trauma of growing up in
living
an
opera house.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm definitely solving the mystery for sure. What about you?
Oh, I'm jumping down. I'm chasing after him. I'm going, hey, you leave her alone. Also, come on, come out.
Yeah,
you don't have to live in the dark. Come join us.
Yeah.
Right?
Get some therapy.
Just gonna say that. Yeah. You know what, everybody? You know what we're gonna do?
We're gonna go to therapy.
We're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna process it.
For sure. So, but 100%, a million %. I love this movie. And it's, again, it's one of those ones, it's like, oh, I was too young, for sure. And that's kind of why it has such a fucking chokehold on me too, cause it's just like, it's literally part of my genetic makeup at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, story aside, I will say, I had some gripes with it. But, you know, the music, the production, you cannot deny talent where it is. And I think that's a big part of why I'm jumping into it.
Yeah, Gerard Butler.
Surprisingly able to hit those notes.
Really good voice for Phantom 2 because it is rougher and darker, deeper. Yeah, Patrick Wilson, incredible. I love him.
Yeah,
he's great. Emmy Rossum, but save the best for last. She is so fucking incredible. I love her so much. I know she was on Shameless for a long time. And
very different character.
She's had a career, right? Like, but I feel like she does not get the recognition that she really deserves of how fucking talented she is.
Yeah,
agreed. I want to see her in more and in music, like more. I want to hear her sing, like, again. She's incredible. Yeah. What a star.
Truly. Amazing. Yeah. I was just thinking in this moment, what an incredible, diverse season 2 we've already had. Girl. Yeah. Pacific Tim last week, and now we're on to Phantom.
Yeah.
Amazingly odd.
So good. Yeah.
The movies that define us. Ooh. It is my turn.
Do it. Let's do it
to pick.
She's picking. Let's go.
Oh, I'm really giving her.
Yeah.
I did fold them all
tight.
Yes.
You're like shaking. I'm excited.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
This movie.
Oh God.
Get ready, folks.
I had a feeling you would have it this season, but I was like, if she doesn't have it this season, I'm doing it. Like, we have to do it.
We have to. Get ready.
Oh my God. This is.
It's up there for one of. I won't reveal too much, but it's up there for one of the scariest movies I've seen.
Yeah, this is something we've talked about quite a bit. This is probably one of the first movies we actually really connected over of being like
top 5, right?
Finding like what we both love. Yeah. Very excited.
Boy, oh boy.
I'm already scared.
Oh goodness. Watch it at night.
No.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. If you can, but also, if you're not a horror person, watch it during the day. Watch it in the morning. 12 o'clock.
Love it. Coffee in hand.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to get in contact with us, please do so over Instagram, New Friend Cinema, Facebook, New Friend Cinema, Gmail, New Friend Cinema @gmail.com. Oh, thank you. Please send in your favorite movie stories. We love to hear them. We love to share them.
Yeah.
And
thanks again, Avery, for sending in our very first one.
Avery. Thank you.
Yeah. We look forward to reading more of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, signing off.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.